Hey guys, this lesson is going to be in two parts. I'm going to first go over page 54, 55, the odds. 54 and 55, the odds. And then at the second part of it, I will go over the evens. That's what I'll assign you for tonight. So first part, let's go through the odds. So I have this as my thing. So you take a look at the two. I know that 4 goes into both 8 and 12, and I can factor an x out. That leaves me 2x minus 3. That's my answer. Problem number 2. We'll do number 2 later, sorry. Number 3, we have 28x to the third minus 4x squared. I can factor a 4 out of both of those. And I can also take an x squared out. And that's going to leave me 7x minus 1. I'm going to go ahead and write number 2 here, and also number 4 here. I'll come back to those later. After this, I'm done with the odds to show you how to work those. But you should try those before you go on. All right, number 5, we have x squared minus x minus 56. Remember, put a 1 out front. I get a negative 56. So what two things could I multiply together? What two numbers could I multiply together? Give me negative 56 and add to give me negative 1. You know, they're alternating signs. So it's going to be 8 and 7. So it's going to be a negative 8 and a positive 7. Don't forget the x's. And replace those in the middle. So I have x squared minus 8x plus 7x minus 56. And then I have an x that I can factor out of both of those. Bring the middle sign down. I can factor a 7 out of both of those. And then my answer becomes this. Okay, I'm going to write number 6 on this next one, but we will come back to that and do that at the end of the video because, again, that's going to be what your assignment will be. Number 7, you get 12x squared plus 7x minus 10. I'm going to multiply those together. I'm going to get negative 120. I want to figure out what two numbers add together or multiply together to give me negative 120. Add together to give me positive 7. So I know 1 and 120, 2 and 60, 3 and 40, 4 and 30, 5 and 24, 6 and 20, 7, 8 and 15 are going to work. Okay, so I think it's going to be this. It's going to be a positive 15x and a negative 8x. That would go in the middle right here. So I'm going to get 12x squared. Whatever order you want, just make sure you keep the signs as is. So that's going to give me a 3 and an x. So that factors out to 4x plus 5. Bring down the middle sign. Factor a 2 out of both of those. So I come up with 4x plus 5 and 3x minus 2. I'll write down number 8, but we'll come back to that at the end of the video. Number 9, we have 2x squared minus 8x minus 24. So I have a greatest common factor because I can factor a 2 out of all those first. So this 2 is going to come down here. So let's go ahead and factor this out. I need to put a 1 out front. I get negative 12. The factors of negative 12 that add to negative 4. I believe you can do 2 and 6. You know, you're going to have a positive and a negative. So it'll be a negative 6 and a positive 2 with x's on both. Bring that straight down. Put those 2 in any order you want. Factor an x out of the first 2. The minus sign comes down. Factor a 6 out of the second 2. So then I'm going to get x plus 2 and x minus 6. Notice the 2 is part of the answer, so you want to keep that there. Number 10, we will do at the end of this video. All right, let's go to page 55, the backside. Number 11, we have x squared plus 3x minus 28. Factor it, put a 1 out front. That's negative 28. I know I have to have positive negative, so 1 times 28, 2 and 14, and 4 and 7. We want to try and get that. So it's going to be a positive 7x and a negative 4x. So I'm going to get x squared minus 4x plus 7x minus 28. Factor in x out of both of those. Bring that positive down, factor 7 out of both of those. So here's my answer. Number 12 will come back too. Number 13, 4x squared plus 26x plus 30. I can factor a 2 out of everything. Okay, so this 2 is going to come down to the bottom. Let's figure out what it'll factor down to. I'll multiply those together, so it's going to give me a positive 30. Everything's positive because all the signs are positive. So what factors of 30, what two numbers multiply together? I got 1 and 30, 2 and 15. Let's see, 3 and 10. Oh, 3 and 10 are going to work. Both going to be positive. Don't forget the x. So I'm going to get 2x squared plus 3x plus 10x plus 15. That's x and 2x plus 3. Bring a positive down. And I get 2x plus 3 here. So the 2x plus 3's go here. The x plus 5 goes here. So the entire thing, don't forget the greatest common factor of 2 coming out. Number 14 we'll do at the end of the video. Number 15, get 2x squared minus 11x minus 6. That gives me a negative 12. And so 1 times 12 is going to work. Make that negative 12 a positive 1. Don't forget the x's. Replace that with the 11x. Let's factor an x out of both of those. Minus sign comes down. Factor 6 out. So I'm going to get 2x plus 1 and x minus 6. Number 16 we'll do at the end of this video. Number 17, we got 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. Let's multiply those together. That gives me a negative 24. So I think 2 and 12 are going to work, where I have a positive 12 and a negative 2. X is on both. Plug that back in there. So I get 3x squared minus 2x plus 12x minus 8. Factor an x out. Bring the plus down. Factor a 4 out of both of those. So my answer is 3x minus 2 and x plus 4. Number 18 we'll squeeze here. Let's do number 19. So 6x squared plus 4x minus 10. Looks like I can factor 2 out of everything first. Bring this 2 down. Multiply these together, so I get negative 15. So I know I have positive and negative. Factors of 15 are 3 and 5. So it'd be a negative 3 and a positive 5. Don't forget the x's. I get 3x squared minus 3x plus 5x minus 5. Let's factor a 3 out. Actually, a 3 and an x. That's going to give me an x minus 1. There's an x right there. Bring the plus down, factor a 5 out. So I get x minus 1 here and 3x plus 5 here. Remember, we have that too. And then number 20 is 3x squared plus 14x plus 15. Okay, so page 54 and 55 even is your homework. The second part of this video would go through them, so let's go back to the beginning and work out the ones we didn't work out, the even ones. So make sure you know how to do the even ones, just don't copy it down. Practice it and then double check with the video. All right, for number 2, I can factor a 9x squared out of both of those. That leaves me x minus 4. You can double check. You can go 9x squared times x is 9x to the third. 9x squared times negative 4 is negative 36x. For these, they all have an x in common. So then I have a negative x squared minus x minus 1. Some people might actually have a negative that they factored out. So all these signs would change. That's as far as you can go there. Number 6, let's multiply that times the 1 up front. So I get positive 36. So both signs will be negative because I have a negative right there. And the factors of 36 that add to 13. Let's see, I got 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9. 4 and 9 are going to work, both being negative. Don't forget the x's. Plug that in here. So I'm going to get x squared minus 4x minus 9x plus 36. I have an x in common here. Bring a negative down. Factor a 9 out. That's a minus 4. So x minus 4 and x minus 9. We did 7. There's number 8. Let's multiply those together. That's going to give me 72. Positive 72. Both signs will be positive. Everything's positive. I think 8 and 9 are going to work. Both positive. So let's plug those into the 17x because those add to 17x. Factor a 4 out of those, so that's going to give me 3x plus 2. Bring down the positive. Factor a 3 out of those, that's 3x plus 2. So there's my answer, 3x plus 2. That was a 4x I factored out there, sorry about that. And then 4x plus 3. Here's my answer. There's number 9. Number 10, it looks like they all have a y in common. I have x squared plus 8x plus 7. Let's bring this y down. Okay, so I'll put a 1 out front. That's positive 7. All signs are positive. So 1 times 7 gives me 7. 1 plus 7 gives me 8. So 1x plus 7x plus 7. Factor an x out. Factor a 7 out. And there's your answer. Don't forget that y in there. There's an 11. Here comes 12. Put a 1 out front. That's positive 36. Both signs will be negative because I have a negative there and a positive there. And so the factors of that are going to be let's see, 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9. 4 and 9 works. Both negative. Don't forget the x's. Factor out an x. Bring down the 9. Factor in. Don't forget to change the signs. X minus 4 and x minus 9. Here's number 14. It looks like I can factor a 2 out of everything, out of all those. That's going to give me 15x squared minus 22x minus 5. Let's bring this 2 down. Factor this, multiply those together, so that's going to give me negative 75. So I know a positive negative. The factors of 75 that give me negative 22. I'm going to say it's going to be 3 and 25. It'll be a negative 25. Don't forget the x. So I get 15x squared plus 3x minus 25x minus 5. Factor of 3x out of both of those. That gives me 5x plus 1. Middle sign comes down. Factor of 5 out of those. That gives me 5x plus 1 because you change your signs. So the 5x plus 1 goes there, and the 3x minus 5 goes there. Don't forget that 2 out front. Number 16, let's multiply those together. I get positive 12. So positive 3 and positive 4 are going to go in the middle. Factor an x out of those. Bring a positive down, factor 2 out. I'm going to get 2x plus 3 and x plus 2 is my answer. Number 18, let's multiply those together. So I'm going to get positive 15. The factors of 15 that add up to negative 14 are going to be a positive 1 and a negative 14, or negative 15, excuse me. Let's plug those in. Let's factor an x out. Bring that negative down. Factor a negative 3 out. Change the signs. Wait a minute.
That tickles.
Haha. Well, we see here once this factors out, notice that's a positive 1, that's a negative 1. This one actually comes out to be prime. I didn't realize that. It didn't work. Let's see, negative 15x plus 3, factor in negative 3, 5x minus 1. Why did this one not work? Let me try it one more time over here. So negative 15 and positive 1, so I have 5x squared minus 15x, let's just change the order of this, plus 1x plus 3. Let's factor a 5x out. I don't know, I think I made a mistake. No. Minus 3. Is this one not factor? $15. Hang on, I made a mistake someplace on here. Let's try this one more time. Why am I not cluing into where I made a mistake? Okay, so 5 times. Oh, that's why. Because we would have needed both signs to be negative to work. That didn't work. Yeah, this one's prime. This one does not factor. Then number 20. Let's multiply those together. So I'm going to get positive 45. Both signs are positive. The factors of 45 that add to 14 are 5 and 9. Are those. So I'm going to get 3x squared plus 5x plus 9x plus 15. Factor an x out, so I get 3x plus 5. Factor 3 out, so then I get 3x plus 5 and x plus 3. There is our answer. All right, so again, this is going to be checked off on Friday. We have a quiz on Friday as well. It's 10 questions. Okay, so that's all you have. Ask me if you have any questions. Have a great day.